Okay, today we're going to do another weapon spotlight. This one is going to be on my AGM Sten MK2. Now, as you can see right away, it is not a stock weapon. I do have various different stocks, and I will put a picture at the end of this video. I have a pistol grip stock, I have the actual fold-out wire stock, and I actually have the tube stock. What we're going to be talking about today is the wooden foregrip here that I have on here, and the wooden stock. These are real steel components that I've modified to fit on the AGM Sten. The front grip was really easy. It's a bolt that goes through the shroud. Took the shroud off, put the bolt through, tighten it up from the bottom with a nut, and it's good to go. This was something included on some of the newer model Stens. It is a very bright wood, as you can tell here. It is a lighter color. I can zoom in on this a little bit. As you can see, and I'll put it under the light, it's a little bit brighter color than most of the other pieces on the gun. I've got an official Sten stock. Now, I've been told that I put this on backwards, I think it's right, but I've seen it wrapped around the shroud, and with this hook back here, this is perfect for around my shoulder, hip firing, things like this. Moving forward on the gun, we have the actual mag well, which is rotated to reveal the hop up on the top. You actually pull this button back like this, and then this rotates into position where you can put the mag in and the hop up is available. Moving further down the gun, we now see the real steel stock that I put on here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you guys can see it. Simplistic stuff that I've done to this, and I'll use a screwdriver to point some of the stuff out. The bolt here actually was on the real steel is a bigger bolt, so I actually put a nut with a washer inside here and ground it out and made it fit so that the real steel stock will fit on here. That was the first modification. Second modification was this was a solid stock with a solid metal steel headpiece. It had, on the back, has the boilerplate, as you can see here, and it was full of grease and oil inside there when I did take that butt plate off. But as you can see here, it does have, and I'm going to pull back, it does have a battery wired into it, 7.4 20C, 1000 mAh. I actually have a 1300 mAh version that also fits inside here too. I can show that if people are really interested in it, but the whole design on this was that there is a solid bolt that starts right about halfway down the stock that goes into this steel headpiece. What I did is I took the steel bolt out, was able to get the parts apart, and using a Forstner bit of specific size, I drilled the hole bigger down to where the bolt started, or the bolt set, long enough so that the battery would fit in here. Okay, I then drilled a second hole up here as far as it would go to the curve on the stock here, so that I could fold the wires down inside so they're out of the way. I actually then drilled with a longer bit from this side through the wood back up till it met these holes up here so I could run the wire through. Now, through the steel headpiece right alongside of the bolt that was in there, I drilled a hole big enough to run the wires through. And what I did is I ran the wires down through up into here, and I actually put in another Tamiya connector so I didn't get rid of the Tamiya connector here. The original battery is a little tiny NIM or a LiPo that you can put in here, and you only have X amount of space, like about 3 inches here. Very hard to find a battery that's going to fit and last any time. I actually had 4 small little 7.4 batteries that a real low mAh rate that I would go through 3 batteries during a game. This way I can actually go through most of the day with 1 battery, and I have a second battery to switch out and finish out the day. Continuing on this is I actually ran the wire down through here, drilled through this headpiece, ran the wire through here, put the Tamiya connector on, and then drilled and ground out a spot here where it actually would go into the gun without pinching the wires when I tightened up the nut. So the wiring actually continues from here all the way out to this buttstock, which you have to unscrew, of course, to put on and put a battery in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to stop this right now, take the butt pad off, and show you that. Okay, I actually have the butt plate off, and this is interesting because it does have a date on here. Looks like 44. There's a P44. I don't know what that is, if that's specifically a date or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But this is a brass butt pad on here with these huge straight blade wood screws in here. Now these go in pretty good, but you will need some kind of flat screwdriver to take them off if you were using this in the field. Now I will zoom in a little bit so you can see what's going on here. Okay, inside the stock you can see we have the wiring. Okay, and it's folded down enough that I can get this little 7/4 in here, no problem. The 7/4 will tuck down, the wiring runs down on this side. If you notice, I got a little groove cut out right here. It's maybe hard to see on the video, but that's where the wire is. And if I put the wiring down through, push the battery in, it goes way in, lots of room. And there's a second Forstner hole, or a hole I cut with a Forstner bit, that allows me to tuck the wiring down in here, out of the way, so that it's not hanging up on anything when you put the cover on here. See, and it's down below the cover. It won't be a problem. So that when you put the cover on, and it only goes on one way, the cover sits on here, and you can tighten it right up. Okay, so this works out perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this cover back on, and we'll come right back and do a conclusion. Okay, I do have the butt pad back on here. It's a regular flat screwdriver if you have a quarter. If you don't have a Phillips or a flat on the field, you can use a quarter or something with a flat edge to get the screws out, change out the battery. That is the only downside on this, that you would have to have that kind of, some kind of tool on the field to change out the battery on this particular gun. Same thing if you had the battery inside the gun, you'd need an Allen key, which I actually had for the gun, to be able to take this Allen key out, put the battery in, put the Allen key back in, tighten everything up. So you are taking some time on the field to do that. This, and like I said, I was changing out 2 or 3 batteries during a game. With this, I'm probably going to last most of the day with it, and then if I have to, I put second battery in and continue the day. These only come with 50 round mags, low cap mags. These are the same mags that fit in the AGM MP40 as well. So I have about 10 for the MP40 and about 10 for this. My rig holds 4 each, one in the gun, so I run with a kit of 9 of these. There is a drum mag that's available for the MP40 that I have, but it does not work on this because of the side mount mag well. It hangs down, it doesn't feed right. But the 50 round mags shoot very well, perfect for what I need, and in essence, with the amount of space that I have in the stock, I can run a MOSFET similar to like one of the Burst Wizards here, that would change the full auto. This is only full auto. Change it down to a single shot or 3 round burst or 5 round burst. So I technically could use this inside like an Airsoft Arena, CQB Arena, that would have under 350 FPS with 2 5s or 2 0s. Currently, this gun is shooting 318 with .25s with a rate of fire of 13.3. With 3 0s, it's shooting 297 with about the same rate of fire, about 13.5. So it actually is shooting perfect for either 350 with 2 0s or 350 with 2 5s. As an outdoor gun, even though it has a lower rate of fire, I was reaching out to 125 feet with this with .30s and was very accurate. This does have a 605 Type bore barrel in it, which came in stock. The only thing that I would say, having it as full auto, you go through a 50 round mag and nothing flat. Having the MOSFET in it to eliminate it to a 3 round burst or a 5 round burst actually makes it more advantageous on the field. I actually set it for the one game to be a 2 round burst, and it was very effective. I always like to double tap when I'm shooting at people. This way, you know, I figure they're going to feel it. the whole thing that I have for this, 10 mags and the rig and everything like that, make this an incredible World War II type gun. The folding stock and the pistol grip stock and the tube stock are nice, but they still make you use those small little batteries up front, unless I want to just like wire tie this stick battery to the side to get some more action out of it. I like the look of this wood stock on it. When you shoulder it, it's still a little short for me, so you're still using it almost like a hip weapon or anything like that, but you can, with the iron sights, aim and get a pretty good sight picture, and it's accurate out to 125 feet in my opinion. So a little bit of work it took me on these, but it's an awesome weapon. I'm going to have a lot of fun with this, and I'm going to try to take this out to a couple of games along with my Thompson for that World War II feel that I have. And it's funny that these mags are a little bit longer than the Thompson mags, but they fit in either or. So if I bring the rig for the Thompson, these will fit in the Thompson pouches. If I bring the rig for the Sten, the Thompson mags will fit in the Sten rig. So they are interchangeable pretty much. The only difference between the Thompson and this one, the Thompson and this one both have a over-the-shoulder type carry. This is not really a sling to hang it down and let it go. You could on this one, on the Thompson you can't. I hope you enjoyed the video, and this has been a weapon spotlight on my AGM Sten Mark II that I've modified. As always, I hope you guys have a good day.